Yeah, good everyone. This is Mr. P Media. Uh, and this is a CSC 222 class. That's an introduction to microprocessor. Now, I want to say this before I start the tutorial. Uh, this is a live class, and I believe those that are concerned are also live with me. And if you are not live, if you are not live now, I will advise you to come online and be part of this tutorial, because after these tutorials I'm going to be dropping some questions for you to answer. And if you are not part of this tutorial, I don't know how you're going to get the questions for you to answer. And I won't want I'm not going to be waiting for you for long for you to submit the assignment. The assignment must be submitted as at when due. All right. So as I said earlier, you are welcome to today's tutorial, and today we'll be discussing on operating system. This is CSC 222 class. All right. I believe this is a 200 level class. All right. And I remain my humble self, Obene Philip. You can call me Mr. Philip. You can call me Mr. P. Anyone you wish. All right. Let's go straight to what we have for today. Now, an operating system. Now, majority of us are exposed to computer. Majority of us are used to computer, and we all know that a computer is a device that accepts data, manipulate the data. It manipulates data and converts into what is readable, what is meaningful, what is understandable. Anything that is meaningful, anything that is readable, anything that is understandable is referred to as an information. Right? What the computer does is to collect data. Another name for data is raw facts. As long as the computer can collect data, it works on that data, it processes that data, it converts that raw fact into what is understandable, what is readable, and what is meaningful. Now, there's an understanding you must know or you must have about computer. All right. Now, before the computer will collect data, before the computer will process data, before the computer will give you the results that you are looking for from the computer, it must lay or it must lie or it must sleep on a particular platform. All right, it must sleep on a particular platform. Just like if you want to sleep or you want to rest, you must definitely rest on something. It's either you rest on a plank or you rest on a bed. You must definitely rest on something. You cannot just rest on the sky. All right, because if you rest on the sky, you're going to fall down. Right? Beautiful. So it simply means that before the computer can accept and process data, it must definitely lie or lay or sleep or rest on a particular platform. Now, the resting on that platform where where that data is resting to process to information is called an operating system. So an operating system is a bedrock for every apps that is installed on your computer. All right, is an interface. Is an interface between you that you're operating the computer and the computer itself. The operating system determines what you install on the computer. Now, the operating system is a software programs run on your computer that determines one, the type of program that will run on the computer. It determines the mode or the look, the way the computer looks, the way the computer is operated, and the way the programs on the computer are being arranged. That is the work of an operating system. Before you can make use of any system, be it desktop system or a laptop system, it must definitely come with an operating system. The operating system is the one that you normally call Windows, because Windows is an example, because we are still going through examples of operating system. Windows is a common operating system that you know, is an example of an operating system. So an operating system is a program that helps your computer to run smoothly. Listen to what I've just said. It helps your computer to run smoothly. It simply means that without the operating system, your computer will not run. Your computer will not work. All right. The computer will just be on. You understand what I meant by on? Maybe when you on the power, it will on, all right, but you won't be able to use it. It will become so useless that you will get angry. You might even want to throw it away. All right, is the windows to whatsoever you do on the computer. So an operating system is an interface, is a program that is run on the computer and makes the computer usable for you. All right, it makes the computer usable for you. Now, from what I have here on my book here, I said An operating system is the interface, just like I said earlier, it's the interface between the computer hardware and the end user. All right, is the interface between the computer hardware and the end user. Who are the end user? You and I. We are the one using the computer. We are the end user. We are not the manufacturer. We are not the programmer. We are not the maker. We are the end user. We determine what we want to use the computer to do. All right, and before we can determine or before we can do any, the system must come with an OS. It must definitely, without the operating system, which you know, Windows. I'm mentioning Windows because Windows is the most common operating system that can easily be got, that can easily that operating system. All right, so it's an operating system that you can easily get in the market. So an operating system stands as an interface, helps to process of data, running application file, just like I said earlier. All right, so the operating system does a lot of work. All the works that your operating system is what we're going to be doing. All right, so all those things are what we're going to be looking at in an operating. Just note that an operating system is a program, is a software program. An operating system is not an hardware. I believe you know the difference between hardware and software. Hardware is something that is hard, is a physical substance of the part of the computer that you can see, you can feel, you can touch, you can hold, you can handle. That's an hardware, something you can touch, like what I'm holding now. All right, you can hold it, you can touch it, you can feel it, you can sense it, you can grab it. That is an hardware. All right, but a software is a program that is installed or that is run on your computer. All right, so your operating system is a program that is what run on the computer. Now the operating system, just like I said earlier, it determines the type of game, it determines whatsoever you want to install on the computer. For example, you want to type, and you know that the most common typing software is your what's it called, is your Microsoft Office Word. Now you want to type, you want to use your Microsoft Office Word to type. Now before that Microsoft Office Word is installed on your computer, it must first of all have an operating system. All right, now this is your Microsoft Office Word, this is your hand here, this my hand here is your Microsoft Office Word, then this is your operating system. So the operating system is down, while the Microsoft Office Word is on it. All right, so the operating system is the bed that holds all application like your Microsoft Office Word or your game app or whatever app that you install on your computer. All right, so it sleeps on it, it rests on it, it determines the kind of program that will be run on your computer. So now let's go on. Now let's now look at the history behind your operating system. No doubts, no doubts, let me say this and you get this at once. No doubts, the history of computer cannot be overemphasized, since we know that um, since we know that how will I put it, computers started or emanated based on what our forefathers were doing. Now, the major occupation of our forefathers then was farming, which was known as agriculture. And what they do majorly is trading. They do trade by barter. And they were so local in such a way that they make use of things. Then there wasn't anything like technology. And they make use of things found in their immediate environments. All right, things found in their immediate environment are known as earthly things. They make use of stones, they make use of pebbles, they make use of anything they can lay their hands on, to do their calculation, to do their trading, to do their buying and selling. But after some while, they discover that these things that they are using, like their tools, their counters, like stick and what have you, is not giving them, it's very redundant, it's not accurate, it's not fast. Before they invented other devices, some devices like abacus was also discovered. All right, abacus was discovered in the ancient Greek. All right, and when abacus came into being, when abacus came into the limelight of computing, it also is the use of what computing. Then after that, other devices started, coming into picture. Different devices started coming into picture, like analytical machine, differential engine, Jacqueline, and so on and so forth. All these things came into picture to enhance and to fasten and to ease the use of, to ease counting, and let me just say, to ease mathematical work. All right, then now when you now look at all these things, starting from the first computing that was discovered by Charles Babbage, all right? And you know that he did not even actually worked on it, which was later programmed by Ada Lovelace. Lots of starting from the fourth generation computer, which make use of vacuum tube in 1940s, all right? It has its own operating systems too that run all right on those systems. Each of these years, starting from 1940 till our present time, all right, every of this discovery, every of this generation of computer, they all make use of what? Operating system. Now note that without the operating system, you can never do anything on the system. You can't even use the system, you can't work on the system, you can't utilize the system, all right, because the operating system will determine what you as the end user want to do on the computer. So history made us to understand that operating system has been long, all right, since the production or the invention or the advent of the first generation computer. Now you can't compare the operating system of first generation we are using now, all right, since we know that technology, all right, so you cannot compare the operating system that we are using now to that which was used in the first generation computer. We all know the characteristics. If you don't know the characteristics of first generation computer, one of the characteristics is that they are very slow. All right, so you can't compare something that is very slow to what we have now. We are now in information age. Some people will call it jet age, some people will call it 21st century, some people will call it data age, some will call it information age. All right, so the age we have now, information is getting very fast. Take for example, how would you know that information is getting very fast? During the time of COVID, if there wasn't anything like IT, if there was nothing like information or technology, we wouldn't have known what is happening in the world. All right, information media helped us to know that there is something that is called COVID. All right, and before you know it, government started advertising, started making jingles on it, that this and this, so let's do what's it called, those that are affected, they will isolate them, people should not go out. These are being done, or these are being enhanced, these are being known or made known to the populace through technology. So technology has really helped us. It has evolved the world. That's why they will say we are in a global village. I was trying to explain the global village to some particular students, for them to understand, the meaning, the meaning of the word globe, from the word globe, to understand the meaning of global. That's not where we are going. I'm only trying to integrate. I'm only trying to explain for you to understand the meaning of operating system. One thing I just want you to note is that operating system stands as a bedrock. It stands as a bed for every application to be run on your computer. Then after which, let's now move to what do we do with operating system? What are the function of an operating system? Why do we even need an operating system? It's just like saying, why do you eat? We all know the reason why we eat food. All right, there is a purpose why you fast, there's a purpose why you eat. All right, so what are the purpose? Why do we have operating system? What do they do? What role did they play on the computer? All right, number one thing about operating system is that operating system has many functions. One of its function is that it provides a platform, just like I said, it provides platform for softwares to be run. That's one of the basic function of your operating system. It will definitely provide a platform for every application, for any application that you want to run or that you want to install. It provides it, right, for you to install it. Without the operating system, you cannot install anything. You cannot install any program. You cannot watch those films that you are watching. You cannot play those games that you love to play. You cannot chat. You cannot tweet. You cannot do anything. All right, just because we have it on our mobile phone, we also have it on our desktop system. We also have it on our laptop system. So one of its functions is that it provides a platform for software to be run on any system. Another function is that it provides a user interface. Just like I said earlier, I said it's an interface. Interface means something that is coming in between you and the system. It stands as an interface between the computer and the user. It also helps to manage processors. Processing is an act of converting. All right, when you say process, process. For example, if I ask you 2 times 22 or 2 times 46, or I ask you a bogus number, one thing you will first of all do is to process. You will boot your brain. You will think, 22 times 2, you will try to do like this, you start to do. So that's an act of process. You are trying to process that question to give a response. The same thing is applicable to the computer. When you give the computer a data, the computer will process it. All right, and what is helping the computer to process those things is called the operating system. All right, because an operating system is there, that is why the computer can what? It can process data and convert it to an information. Another thing is that your your operating system helps the computer to manage memory. It allocates memory to the computer. It also helps to manage system memory. Anything that you do on your computer, anything that you perform on your computer, the operating system is very, very vital. It also helps to manage application. It manages application. It manages input and output. That's, I hope, anything you insert on your computer. If I insert a keyboard on an external keyboard on my system now, it will make a sound. So those sounds are being carried out or are being helped through the involvement of operating system. It does a lot of things on the computer that cannot be overemphasized. Now let's now move straight to types of operating system. Now note something, there is difference between type of operating system and example of operating system, because there are some scripts that I've marked and I discovered that some students are combining or they are mixing both types and examples together. Let me now give you an instance. If I say example of an operating system, just like we all have a phone, all right, exposed to phone. If you are not exposed to Android phone, you will be exposed to iPhone. If you are not exposed to iPhone, we will be exposed to Java. All right, I know the most common one is Windows on laptop. All right, now all what I've just mentioned now, they are great examples of operating system. When you look at your Android phone, that phone that you are pressing, that phone that you are using to chat now, all right, that you are pressing with your hand, that's the operating system. The operating system there is the Android. All right, and Android market has made it so simple and so easy that you can easily manipulate it. All right, and the interface is so unique that you can dabble through it. You can mesmerize on it, and it creates a lot of fun for you to work with. So operating system, its functions, its types, and its examples, there are three different sets of terms. Now the first thing we're going to be looking at, the what's it called, the types of operating system. Now let's look at number one, types of operating system. Number one of it is batch operating system. Number one is batch operating system. This type of operating system does not interact with the computer directly. All right, it doesn't interact with the computer directly. There is an operator which takes similar jobs having the same requirements and groups them into batches. It is the responsibility of the operator to sort jobs with similar needs. Batch operating system is designed to manage and execute a large number of jobs effectively by processing them in groups. Now, when they say something is in batch by batch, take for example, I know majority of us, some of us must have written JAM. Majority of us have written JAM because I was once a JAM. All right. Now, if you are writing an exam, apart from your school exam, I mean external exam, they will tell you that you are writing it batch by batch. All right. Batch are always in group. All right. And before you can be joined to a batch, it simply means that you have been scrutinized. You have been what kind of English can I use? You have been given. I'm looking for a beautiful word to use. You have been selected. Okay, let me just use that one. You have been selected to be in that group. All right, that's a batch. All right, we have different batches. So the batch processing or the batch operating system does the work of collecting data in groups. Now this batch present operating system, the operating system in that format is not even the one doing the work. Alright, what the operating system does in that aspect is to collect data in batches, just the way I've explained it. It collects the first job, it collects the second job, it collects it in batch, in group. Right, it groups them. After grouping them, then it will disseminate them. Then the operating system is at the middle. We have different jobs that is being collected by the operating system. After collecting it, it does the what? It distributes the work batch by batches. Now a very good example of it is when you are collecting data of students. Right, you are collecting it batch by batch. The first batch will come, and you know that when the first batch are coming, they are not coming one by one. Understanding about batch operating system. Batch operating system doesn't come one by one, they come in group. All right, when those groups are joined together, all right, in a batch you can have 10 clusters. In a batch you can have 10, okay, let me not use clusters. We can have 10 students in a batch, we can have 50 students in a batch, we can have 100 students in a batch. All right, that is the beauty behind batch operating system. Then another example of operating system, and that one have its own advantages and disadvantages too. We have multi-programming, from that word multiple time. All right, it is programmed to do multiple work at a time. Now multi-programming operating system can be simply illustrated as as more than one, just like I said earlier, as more than one program is present in the main memory, and any one of them can be kept in execution. Execution means work done, right? Can be kept in execution. This is basically used for better utilization of resources. Multi-programming is doing it in a multiple way. All right, this one is no longer in batch. You know, the first one was batch by batch, but this one is done in a multiple. It's just like a selector, all right, or a machine that is selected. Now that machine has been coded, or it has been coded in such a way that once you impute the resource for that machine, the machine will spin. It will spin and produce what it ought to produce in a multiple way. All right, for example, it won't just produce one, it will produce it. I want you to get the concept of multiple operating system. It will produce it in 50s, and that production will just come 50 and it will vomit it at a time. Do you understand? Just like someone that is putting to bed, the woman is putting to bed is giving birth to twins at a go. I've seen someone, I've had, not that I saw, I've heard of the testimony of someone who was pregnant of triplets. All right, then the woman gave birth to 2 children. Then it was after was it 3 days or 4 days, the guy said. It was even the third one that was sharing the testimony. All right, so it was after that third day of third month that the third one came out. That's no longer multiple. All right, that one is now in what? In batches. That's one thing I want you to do. It's now in batches, no longer in what? Multiple means when they are when they are coming out, you know, in a grouped and a more, you know, synthetic way. Now look at this one. Now we have your memory partition. Now it will partition it. All right, it will partition your work, then everything will be distributed in a multiple way. One, it will just be going, it won't stop. Do you understand? That's multiple programming operating system. Now let's look at another example of operating system. We have multitasking operating system. A task is a work given to someone. Okay, a task is a work given to you to carry out. So when they say something is multitasking, it simply means that it's an operating system. Okay, a multitasking operating system is simply a multi-programming operating system which with having facility of a round robin scheduling algorithm. It can run multiple programs simultaneously or asynchronously. It will just be running it. It's just like when you want to remove money from ATM. What the ATM does, sure you understand. Okay, let me break that multitasking for you to get very well. Now listen up. If I want to use ATM to illustrate it. If I want to withdraw money from an ATM, what I will do is that I will insert my ATM card. After inserting my ATM card, I will punch my code on it, right? After punching my code on it, I have access to my account, isn't it? That's to the fund. Then if I want to bring out 10,000 naira, what I will do is what? I will punch 10,000 on the ATM, right? Now after punching 10k on it, what happened? Is it 1,000 that will be coming out? So it come out at a time, telling you that 10,000, because that is what you clicked on. That is what you that's the data you give to the computer to give you out as an information. It will give you instantly. When they say someone is multitasking, meaning that it can do different things at a time. All right, it can do different things at a time. Most women are multitasking. A woman can be cooking, at the same time you'll be cleaning the bum bum of a baby, at the same time you'll be receiving a call, at the same time is in the kitchen washing plates, all right, at the same time is watching Paloma and Diego. Do you understand? The same thing with the computer too. A computer is also what? Multitasking. A computer can be used, sometimes you'll be watching film, at the same time you are typing, at the same time you are making calls on that same system. All right, so that is the brain behind a multitasking operating system. Now note that the reason why you are studying types of operating system is for you to know the nature of operating system that is running on your system. How will you know the nature of an operating system running on your system? Is based on the workability of that system. Workability, what did I mean by workability? Workability means work, the work that your system can do. There are some systems that once you install a program on it, program like your game, let me just use simple terms so that you get. Once you install a game or an app on that system, if you just play, let's say if you just use it for like 2 to 3 hours, what happens to the system? It will be overheating. It will be overheating, telling you that that kind of system is not a multitasking operating system. It cannot do much work at a time. An example of a browser is your Opera Mini or your Chrome. Now after opening your Opera Mini or Chrome, all right, you now open how will I call it, to you open three should I use the word pages? You open three, just like when you open your Chrome, the Chrome operating system, where we have that times as if you want to close it. You open another one, you open another one, you open another one, you open another one, telling you that on that Chrome app, on that Chrome, you can multitask it. You can be doing something on a page, another page you are doing another thing, another page you are doing another thing, another page you are doing another thing. There are some systems that doesn't allow that, telling you that that system is not a multitasking. There are some systems that you can only use it to watch film. You can only use it to do one thing at a go. Sorry, okay. If you are using it to play, you cannot use it to make call. Most especially on mobile phone, and most especially on Android. On some Android, not all Android. Okay, some Android OS you can be watching film. That's why it will emulate. I don't know, maybe you get what I'm saying. It's a multitasking. If a call is coming, maybe for example I'm browsing, a call is coming, I can easily minimize the call. I can easily minimize minimize it and move it. Then I'll move the calling that is coming up. I'll move it up. Then I'll see the call. Then I'll pick it. Then after picking the call, I can still go to the minimize, open all what I've been doing. I will see all the multi-work that I've been doing on the system. Everything will be grouped. Then I can move it like this. Then I will pick whatever I want to pick. Then I'll click on it. That's a multitasking operating system. All the stuff are there. Okay. Then we'll move to another one. We'll move to another example of operating system. We also have real-time. We also have real-time operating system. This type of operating system serves real-time system to process and respond to input is very small. All right, is very small. This time interval is called response time or real-time system. Okay, and this kind of operating system, they are used when there are time requirements that are very strict, like missile system, air traffic control system, or robotic. Now note something. Now when we say operating system, every device or every devices have its own operating system. Okay, be it an Android system, be it a robotic system, be it a machine. All right, irrespective of the IT gadget, they all have their operating system, and each of those operating system are coded to do a particular work or to carry out a particular thing. Is either they are coded as a multitasking operating system, okay, or they are coded as a real-time operating system. Take for example your ATM machine, it have its own operating system. Your mobile phone, it has its own operating system, okay. And we have different types of mobile phone. You have your Android, you have your iOS, you have your Macintosh, which is your Apple. They are all operating system with different types of work they can do. Alright, now let's move to examples of operating system. I have mentioned some of them in the course of my teaching. Examples of operating system. We have host of examples of operating system. The most common of them all, which is very common on desktop computer. What I mean by desktop computer is your personal computer. Okay, please don't mix them together. Your personal computer. Okay, in your personal computer we have your desktop computer and we have your laptop computer, then we have other types of computers, alright, which is your mobile computer. Okay, your desktop computer are those ones that are kept on the that are that are mobile. I know that are, how will I put it, they are immobile. Alright, they are in a position, while your laptop is a mobile computer. Alright, your laptop is a mobile computer. Mobile means something you can move up and down. Okay, your laptop is mobile, while your immobile systems are your desktop. So desktop are immobile, and the reason why they are called desktop is not because they are put on the desk. So understand that the fact that they are put on the desk does not guarantee the name as a desktop system. It is called a desktop system because it is an immobile system. It is a fixed system. You cannot be carrying it. Imagine you putting, how will you carry a desktop computer? How do you want to carry a desktop computer? You will carry the mouse, you carry keyboard. How do you want to carry? So it is an immobile form of our system. Then the parts are separated from each other. That's why it is called a desktop, not a laptop. Laptop parts are compactly packed together. They are compactly packed together. So be it desktop computer or laptop computer, right, they can run on one operating system. Your desktop computer or your laptop computer may be running a window operating system, and the window operating system may be a real, it could be a multitasking operating system, it could be a single task operating system, right? Irrespective of the nature or the types of operating system that is run on it, it must definitely come with an example of an operating system. So Windows is a most commonest, yes, let me say English, most commonest operating system that is found on personal computer. It is very common in such a way that we can get it anywhere. It is very cheap, easy to access, easy to use. Alright, application that runs on Windows operating system can easily be dabbled on. You can easily manipulate it. Not like the other one I'm about to mention, and not like Macintosh. Macintosh are mostly found on Apple products. Well, that's why they are Macintosh. It is called Mac, or you call it Macintosh. The full name is Macintosh, while the short name is Mac. Mac operating system are mostly found on Apple products. Right, they are mostly found on Apple products, and they are very expensive. All right, on mobile phone they are called iPhones. All right, and you know that before you can make use of iPhone, you must iCloud it. That's why they are expensive. Their security level is very high. You can't compare it to your Windows. Just the way we have Windows desktop and Windows laptop, we also have a Windows mobile phone. All right, or any application that is run on your Windows mobile phone, you can also run it on your, what's it called, on your Windows mobile phone. If you are running that Windows mobile phone, I mean, if you are running that Windows operating system on a desktop or a laptop computer, it can also run on your mobile phone, which is Windows. All right, which is Windows operating system. Another example of an operating system is Java. Java is a common operating system that is found on smaller phones. All right, and one beautiful thing about Java is that it's very hard for a Java program to be affected by virus. Then another example that we have as an operating system is your Symbian. I don't know if you know a Symbian phone. Symbian is an example of an operating system, and most the company that make use of Symbian products are Nokia. All right, Nokias are very used to Symbian. All right, then another operating system is BlackBerry. I know majority of us are no longer using BlackBerry. BlackBerry has gone into oblivion. All right, it's no longer in vogue. Nobody is using BlackBerry, but it's an operating system. All right, then we have Ubuntu. I know this might sound somehow, not, it's not common. All right, Ubuntu is an operating system that is not common for today, which I want to say before we bring the class into a conclusion. Let's look at what are okay, we have looked at the different types of operating system. Why do we use operating system? The example, advantages. The advantages of operating system. Now, one advantage of an operating system is that it is user friendly. It is user friendly. User friendly simply means that you can easily use it. You can use, like your Android, some of you have Android phone, right? It can be easily manipulated. If you are not using Android operating system, if it is iOS that you are using, if it is a Mac operating system that you are using, if it is Linux, if it is Unix, if it is irrespective of the operating system that you are using, it is what user friendly. For example, if you are making use of a laptop, right, and you are using a window operating it, all right, now the way those will work, and we have different versions. Please note this: on a Windows operating system, Windows operating system comes in different versions. That's why we have Windows XP, we have Windows Server, we have Windows 2000, we have Windows 7, we have Windows 8, we have Windows 10, we have Windows 10 Pro, we have Windows 11. All right, we have Windows 360. All those are versions. Don't go and mistake them and call them examples of Windows. They are not examples of Windows, they are versions of Windows. Do you understand? They are versions of Windows. So your operating system, its advantage is what? They are user friendly. Another advantage of what's it called? It stands as a source of computing. Computing means bringing something together. All right, when you are computing a result, or you are combining something, you are combining an information, you are computing it. All right, you are using a machine to collect information. So our operating system helps you to what? To collect diverse information. Then sharing of resource, your resource like printer, keyboard, and what have you. So operating system helps you to share your resource. Then data protection, the operating system protects your system from being attacked by virus. Another thing is that your operating system is multitasking. We've talked about that one. It helps you to update your system. The operating system helps in system update. Then the disadvantage of operating system, sometimes one of the disadvantage of operating system is that it can encounter error. Since it's a machine, it's not a human being, it can be encountered by error. Another disadvantage is that it is very expensive. Operating system is expensive. You can't compare an Apple product to a Windows product. If they are selling Apple products for 500k, you can get a Windows system for how much? You can get it for 120 or 70,000, or 80, just like your iPhone. You have iPhone of 1 million, of which you can get your Android phone for, let's say, for either 100,000 or 120. So that is why I said it is expensive. It is structure. Now, structure means the framework. All right, that's the way it looks like, the way it is being built. All right, to build an operating system takes another technicality in doing such. So your operating system is always threatened by virus. It is always threatened. It is always threatened by virus. Will definitely come. Even if virus does not come, some people will ignite virus on that your operating system. So that is those are the disadvantages of operating system. Then before we call the class a day, let's in this last word, which is also involved in your operating system, which is known as your compiler and your interpreter. A compiler and an interpreter. We all know what an interpreter does. If you don't know, some of us that are Christian, if you are fortunate to go to church, all right, you will know the work of what that your interpreter does. The interpreter that translates one language to another language. The same thing is applicable to your computer. Now your computer is built out of out of uh, human uh, human sin, the way the human operates. All right, that is the way your computer is being built. A computer is a robotic, though we have different machine language in robotic, we have different notion or different understanding about robots. All right, because majority, once they hear the word robot, they will think it's something that can be doing the whole of your work for you without you commanding it. And that's on understanding some people are about robots. Now a compiler translates code, just like I said. A compiler, it will translate code from a high level language, okay, a high level programming language into a machine code before the program run before you run the program. So what the compiler does is that it translate means it changes the machine, that's the machine language. The machine language are what is zeros and one, that's your machine language. Your machine language are is zeros and one, so it converts your zeros and one into a high level language. High level language are language that I'm speaking, that's your ABCD, they are high level language. So what the compiler does is it converts your machine language into what is readable by you and I. That's why we say it converts your machine language into high level language. High level language are high level programming language like your Python, your Java, your what's it called? We have Java, we have I know we have Python, we have what are the examples of uh, it skipped my mind. And the ones I remember that I'm going to be telling you, okay. The ones that came to my mind now is the Python and the Java. All right, we have other examples of high level language and low level language. So what the compiler does is it translates the machine language which is zeros and one into an high level language. Then on the other hand, an interpreter translates, you can hear that an interpreter translates code written in high level code or into machine language line by line, line by line, line by line, line by line. If I come there and meet you, line by wait, you can see that I'm doing something, wait, line by, sorry, that's my son, he's back from school, line by line. So what the machine does is it's what the interpreter does is it translates code written in high level language into a machine. Like you can see that both devices or both softwares are doing the work of what opposite, and they are doing the work of word and opposite. Once this one is done, this one will also do the rest one. So what the computer does is garbage in and garbage out. Once you give the computer work or you give the computer data, the work of the computer is to give you back an information. That's what you are in need of. That is the reason, or the basic or the major reason why you are making use of a computer. I believe we have been able to touch some part today in the what's it called, in our exposure to operating system. Then one of the question, or some of the question I'm going to ask in the course of this training is, number one, what do you understand by an operating system? That's give me the definition of an operating system. Number two, mention 5 functions. Yes, I've written them down. Mention 5 functions of an operating system. Mention 5 functions of an operating system. The number last, which is number 3, list and explain 5 types of operating system. All right, list and explain 5 types of operating system with diagram. Yeah, when you go online, you will see them with diagram. I don't have a board here. I will have been drawing them for you. All right, each of those types of operating system when you go online, you will come across diverse or different examples, different types of operating system with diagram. Now if you find this video, if you find it interesting, you find it educative, please give it a thumb up so that YouTube can recommend it for others to also gain from it. Then if you are yet to follow my page, please do. You can follow, you can subscribe to my page at Mr. P Media. If you have any question, you can drop your question and it will be it will be answered. Thank you and God bless you. I remain my humble self, Ubene Philip Enyimari, aka Mr. P. Bye bye.